U.S. knows all about the inner workings of the immigration enforcement at a federal level. Joining us now is Ken Cuccinelli. He's President Trump's former acting director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services and former acting deputy secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Ken, great to have you here. Trump's spokesman, Carolyn Leavitt, said today that this administration considers everyone who entered the country illegally to be a criminal. This seems to mean that a lot more people will be targeted immediately.
Well, they always said that violent criminals were just the priority. They were not the end game. There's about 500,000 convicts or so among illegal aliens that we know of, another 1.4 million that have removal orders. Those two categories alone are almost 2 million illegals, and there's probably another 10 or 20 million others here. And what they're saying is what President Trump said during the campaign, and that is that the goal will be to remove all illegal aliens, and that he intends to remove more than any other president ever has before. And certainly if he gets anywhere near the all number, he will certainly achieve that.
Right, but border czar Tom Homan continues to say, and I just watched Stephen Miller give an interview where he also said that illegal immigrants who've committed crimes are the priority right now. But nearly half the people arrested in the raids so far are people who haven't committed crimes in the U.S., except, of course, they crossed the border illegally, which the Trump administration made clear they consider that to be a crime.
Well, so do you, don't you? It's in the U.S. Code.
Oh, I do. My point is that Tom Homan and Stephen Miller said, we're going to focus first, and public opinion really massively supports this, deporting illegal immigrants who've committed other crimes besides crossing the border. There are, in other words, there are millions of people who've been here, some of them decades, who cross the border. Yes, that's a crime. They're here illegally. But once here, haven't committed any crimes.
Right. And again, they've made clear that those who also commit additional crimes in the country, in the United States, are going to be priorities. And so to see about half of the folks they have picked up so far to fit that category is no surprise at all to me. Those are lower hanging fruit in the simple sense that when you're conducting deportation, one of the harder steps is simply identifying where a particular illegal alien is located. And when they commit a crime, they put themselves on your radar. So set crime aside for the moment and just think efficiency. If your goal is to deport everyone, those folks are popping up on the deportation radar much more efficiently than ordinary people who aren't committing any other crimes. So they are going to go first because they provide other security and safety benefits to Americans, and because they're easier to find.
What do you make of the mayor of Chicago and that news conference today saying that this policy is not in line with what Americans think and feel about immigration?
You know, I'm reminded of the very old joke about the two White House reporters talking after Nixon won re-election, and one White House reporter says to the other, I don't understand how McGovern lost. Everybody I know voted for McGovern. And I think the mayor of Chicago lives in a similar type of bubble. Everybody he talks to is as radically left as he is, but America is not. It's worth remembering not only that Donald Trump won the election primarily on this issue, but you can go all the way back to March of 2021, and Joe Biden was underwater in the opinion of Democrat voters on immigration pretty much from 2 months into his administration to the very end because of those open borders policies. This is a very broadly supported approach, not just by Republicans and independents, but also by many common sense thinking Democrats, and the mayor of Chicago isn't among them.
And thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.